NTR podcast.
On today's episode,
I'm looking at it on a loop here.
Yeah, that's healthy. How was that for you?
Well, I'm fine. I think that she is attractive.
Why do you think she's attractive?
She might be one of them that just looks good and you can't see her face. I can say this, I'm gay. Don't complain. We have cloud computing now, don't we?
Get the brains up there.
Upload my mind.
Maybe that's what
the
heaven
cloud.
is.
Always said this.
Is heaven the iCloud?
Now, what's happening right now is 50% of people who are listening to us are going, thank God someone said this.
50?
Your go-to would
Maybe
be,
not that.
Listen, aliens,
If you've got
knob
alien...
reveal.
Knob reveal, please.
Bumhole reveal.
What's the boob situation?
Show us your knob, your bumhole and your boobs. Not necessarily in that order, but we need to see these
That
things.
would be my question 1, 2 and 3, I think.
And now, from Liverpool, around the world on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
It's time to open your mind, expand your outlook, and occasionally soil yourself with delight.
This is the NTR podcast with Dylan Evans and Graeme Smith.
Are we on? Is this us? Hello. How are we doing? Episode
Hello.
21?
Yeah, it's episode 21, dear.
No way.
Episode 21.
No way. Here
Who would
we
have
go.
thought? Who would have thought?
Here we go. We're still doing the
We're
thing.
still doing the thing. Welcome everyone.
Right, what's happened this week?
All
More Zoom
kinds.
call bant, is it? Have
No.
Zoom calls completely taken over entertainment, yeah?
No.
That could happen.
Well, yeah, all the TV channels have run out of programmes, haven't they?
Yeah, it's all Zooms. And it's all like highlights from Zoom calls because of the whole Jackie Weaver thing.
Of course it is. That's
Which
all
I've
anyone
not-
wants now.
Everyone keeps referencing that. Still.
It's that, by the time we'd recorded the podcast the other Monday, I hated it.
Yeah,
I hated it.
I
But then
did a
I
bit.
don't hate it again now.
I can't turn it off still. I still can't. If I get to that point.
When you get in from work, you go home.
Yaz, get that on again,
Yeah,
please, Dylan.
Put the 20-minute version on.
It's Valentine's Day, yeah, the full one's going on.
Joining in.
The one bit I keep thinking about is, the read them and understand them. That's the bit. I think that is that's the funny.
Yeah.
If you listen to that carefully, right, we'll move on from Jackie Weaver, but if you listen to that bit carefully, the internet almost cuts out. He goes, the standing orders, right, and he does that. What if the internet cut out there? We would have missed the meme of the year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have been it for
What a
2021, wouldn't
What
it?
a sickening thought that would have been.
Horrible thought. What would we have done without that?
Where would we be?
Don't really know.
No.
It's one of the things that doesn't bear thinking about, isn't it?
Why are you in your big coat?
Studio's very cold today. I'm
in the same studio. I'm in a hoodie.
I felt colder than you. I was like, shall I keep this on? And you were like, yeah. And now I realise what I can see myself on the monitor.
Is it loud? Can you rustle? Is it rustly? Oh, sounds cheap, that, doesn't it? If you're just listening, it does sound cheap.
If you're just listening, what is he doing? What is he doing?
It's finally happening. Here we are.
Here we are. Oh no, I'm still feeling a bit cold. But anyway, yeah, the big coat's on. I feel like my nan used to look after me as a kid, and she'd always keep her coat on. She would all night. She'd come round.
What do you mean?
She'd just sit there like, I've got my coat on and I'm not taking it off. When my mum and dad went out when I was a kid, and my nan would sit with us, and she'd just have her fucking coat on, and we'd be like, aren't you going to take your coat off, Nan? She'd, no, I'm fine.
Would she make you tea? You know, when old people are like still cooking their way.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
mine and everything's sort of just like deep fried a bit. I'll do you an egg. It's deep fried.
Yeah.
Everything's dead hot.
She loved that
Chips. They love chips.
boil in the
Homemade
bag,
chips.
boil in the bag curry. She was a big fan of
Boil
that.
in the bag, yeah.
Yeah, which when you think about it, isn't the most appealing of cells, is it? Boil in the bag.
That was my rice intake growing up.
The boil in the
It
bag
was all
curry.
boiled in bag, and that's what I didn't think rice come like that. Oh, you get it off the floor, and this is how it grows. But Yaz
It
is
came from a cold part of the world, right?
Yeah, that's white rice.
Yeah.
I got the white people rice.
Did you?
And Yaz, so you can cook rice as in like in a pan, and I think to white people that is like what?
Yeah, Steve does that.
Witchcraft. We just don't grow up around rice like that. And
no.
she could never ever get her head around the boil in the bag.
Did she just think it was the grimmest idea ever?
Literally, like her face drops. It's like, you do what? Why? The question she's
you
asking is
do
just why.
what? Why?
Why? And I'm like, well, it's more convenient. She's like, it's not.
What's Yaz's go-to? Like, Yaz's background, for people who don't know, is
Confusion.
Confused. What is it mainly?
She's Somali, but Danish,
Right.
which is mad. So she's like Somali family, but they had to flee to Denmark as of the Somali civil war, which I was reading up about over the weekend, found out that Yaz was one of 20-something thousands that, like, Yaz's family. Yeah, went on the big walk. Walk to Denmark! Well, she was born in Denmark.
They walked to Kenya or something, didn't they?
Yeah, mad. Like, her family had to, like, flee a war. It was like, okay, an actual struggle.
So the cultural experience that she's had generally, could be food, could be anything, it's totally different to yours.
The opposite.
Steve's from the Caribbean. Well, he's not, he's from London, but his family are from the Caribbean, right? And their go-to things that he will make just for tea when you're bored are so different to mine. I'll be like,
what are yours?
Chips, come on.
It's all chip-based.
It's all just like lazy white person food.
Yeah.
And he's like, rice features.
Rice is always there, isn't it?
There's a lot of stuff that we wouldn't have gone near. And I'm like, what, you're putting that with your roast? Sometimes I'll have rice with the roast dinner.
Ooh.
Yeah, and do you know what? I started being a bit snotty about it. I'm like, don't be putting any fucking rice in that.
None of that foreign muck. Keep that well away.
He did it the other week and I was starving. And he went, oh, it's not so bad now, is it? And I was like,
but it would work. I mean, who cares?
Well, exactly, yeah, but it's just what you're used to sticking together. We're just potatoes.
Yeah, well, yeah,
potatoes, please.
Rice, chicken was a lovely. My sort of go-to is like beans on toast.
Absolutely.
Which she can't believe's a meal.
Well, it is. It's got everything you need.
Has it?
It's got the beans, got the toast.
Chop.
What does a man need? Yeah. She's right, though. It does sound grim. Beans on toast, anyone?
That will do.
Beans
will do.
Well,
what do you
beans
mean?
Are a comedy food.
Beans fall into comedy for several reasons.
Go on. They're taking over our chats on our YouTube. I was looking the other day. A lot of the comments were bean related. And I was like, what the fuck?
I've started live streaming on Twitch. Shout out to Twitch and that. And it's all bean based now. Because I just keep laughing at beans.
They are funny.
What they look like. It was quite funny. Imagine beans slopping around somewhere, someone covered in beans. Quite funny. The word beans.
Beans.
Just say beans to yourself now if you're by yourself. Beans.
It's the thought of having all beans down you as well. It's like
imagine seeing someone covered in beans that you knew. I didn't want to see you. I was covered in beans.
Oh God, I didn't expect it. I didn't think anyone was coming round.
And then they make you fart. They produce the funniest noise.
They do.
So it's like the warm-up for the funniest noise the human body can make. Fart to comedy as well.
So the gag begins.
I made you laugh before thinking your dog did a fart.
Yeah, well, I've never seen anyone try and style out doing a trump. You've never trumped in front of me before.
I never trumped. I made the noise.
I thought you farted. That was
no,
funnier.
I didn't.
Right,
no.
so my dog, he saw my dog earlier, and my dog leaned over to go into the down dog position.
Yeah, and I went.
And I thought the dog had farted, which was funny. But then I thought he farted and timed it to go with the dog. And I thought, you've got a cheek. That's funny.
That was with my mouth.
Oh, right. The whole time I was like, he's just let one go. That was, what a he's never done that before.
Kitchen. I'm just going to walk into the kitchen, queef and get off. No,
you live there.
I always do this where it's like, if someone bends down, they hate it. Yaz hates it. She always tries to stop me because I do it in public. I've done this for years in
Yaz
supermarkets.
Hates it because Yaz is female, and there is no greater insult to a lady than the trumpy.
That they fart, which they don't. Women don't fart. That's science.
What did he do? What did he do? Where did he go to do it?
Just all stores.
Like a greenhouse gas.
But yeah, so if anyone had bent down in a supermarket, any age, anyone, they're all a victim.
Any age.
If someone bends down.
This sounds really weird what you just said.
Someone bends down,
anyone bends down, they're a victim.
And I'm there with the noise. And the mask has only added to this because now no one knows who it is. Walking past and making a fart noise. Because then the only thing you've got to do is look as confused as them. What was that? If you look round as well, they never suspect you.
Look disgusted.
What? Oof. And especially because I'm not a kid now. I've realised that as well.
Well done.
It took me to being about 25 because I was in the shop. This was like a couple of years ago now. I realised I wasn't a kid. And like
so when you're 23, you realise I'm not a child
23.
now.
Kid runs past with his mum. The mum like stops the kid. Watch out for the man. And I was like, man?
I'm called a man.
I'm the man. I was the man now. And I realised at that point, I'm Mr. Man. So I need to act like man. But then again, people don't suspect man of fart noises and stupid comedy like that.
No.
No one suspects man.
No.
That's kids. That's pathetic.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But it's funny.
Yeah.
The more the comedy raz, that's what we need. This year, I think more than ever, we need the comedy in life. Bring it back. We need as much comedy fart sound effects as we need. People, come on.
In big events, I think they would improve a lot of big events. There's a lot of stuff that's really like
Imagine it at a
high
funeral.
pressure. Yes, like a state funeral. Imagine it at a state. We'll leave it there.
Who's? Prince Andrew. Is Prince Andrew going to have a state funeral?
If Prince Andrew was to have a state
Can
funeral,
his be full of like comedy gas? You drop him. He's in a clown suit, falls out.
Yeah.
There's loads of clowns fall out the coffin.
Yeah.
Really complex gag.
yeah.
That'd be good. But we need that in
Just
this
that
year.
noise being put in, you know, when they do. And now the coffin lies in state to be taken to Westminster.
Oh,
All of that. And that's Andrew's punishment.
my foot.
Lockdown, baby.
Moving on. I've got a little TikTok to show you there, Graeme. So what you can see here is babies that were born in the year 2020 and like a bit before. Babies that have only really known lockdown.
That's a socket there.
So they all think that everything's a hand sanitizer.
Every button that you push.
Yep. Because
and
look, that is. We're sort of watching evolution.
That's not evolution. That's going backwards. That's
yeah.
humanity going backwards. This
What is
kid's,
it?
she's going to put her fingers in a socket or something.
One day.
She is though. That's what she's effectively every time
It's the hand rub as well, by the way. So she's literally perceiving people as just going up to like buttons, rubbing, and that's life. She's it's mad. It's so mad. I hadn't really thought about.
She was
kids
born.
This is all they know.
She was born in 2020.
Yeah.
And she thinks everything is a hand sanitizer.
How do you feel about that? What's your initial emotion? I'm watching at home. Let me know. What's your initial emotion? Is it sadness? Is it amazement? Because obviously people are going to have to adapt. This is just a human thing to adapt to, isn't it?
Copying parents and shit. It's like
Monkey see, monkey do, Graeme. That's all we are, innit?
so. My boyfriend's what would you call it? Nephew? Yeah, it's a nephew.
Depends if it's a boy or a girl.
Yeah, it's a nephew. So my boyfriend's nephew was only born last year.
Yeah.
And then his sister was only born the year before. And it's definitely affected them because like that kid has never seen. He's under 1 year old now. Peak of lockdown. So he's just under
Oh my
one.
God, he's like only known lockdown then, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. And dealing with family, like it was his birthday over the weekend, and we had a big Zoom call.
Yeah.
And he's like, and they've got family on the telly, and that's how some kids are getting used to seeing their family. They were all at a distance. Some of them were down south, and some of them were being. It was all like someone turned the camera around, and it was like grandma, granddad, Steve, auntie, whatever, and it was all like this big. It was what would have happened. I don't know. It was just weird. I know that I'm describing a Zoom call, and it's not that impressive.
But it's like for the kid's birthday. That's when I think it gets.
Well, the candles and interacting with us as it was like watching the future. You know, when a film, a really dystopian vision of the future.
But is it not a bit nice?
That's kind of nice that
is there not
everyone's
some nice
together.
quality? That's what I mean. Like, if this had happened 20 years ago,
we wouldn't have been able to do that. No,
it would have been a lot worse.
People were sort of like getting into conference calling back then, weren't they? And all them technologies. It'd have been like, right, just gonna put Nana online. Nightmare.
Click. Awful. That's what I mean. So
it's arrived at the right time. COVID. No, it has.
Has it?
No, it has.
Maybe 5 years down the line might have been
a bit better. A bit of notice.
He could have let us know.
Could have been like leaving the EU where they give you a date where it's probably going to happen, but no.
We've just started all at once, haven't we? But yeah, there's kids growing up like that. Animals, I think, are going to perceive the world very differently now. Like my parents' dog, Loki, he's a Great Dane. He's got an Instagram as well, and he's got loads of followers on it. Yeah. He's like a bit unsure of people and stuff because obviously, like when he's a puppy and everyone comes around, oh, come and look at the puppy. It was like lockdown. So
love the demented invitation to look at the dog that you gave there.
Have you met my parents? It's something like that. Hi guys.
I can't work out who you're doing an impression of on that occasion, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was a bit both and drunk and mad.
So he's like the same size as a man. My dog, we got him 6 months before lockdown, so we went to like one puppy class. He's a bit of a weirdo. It's just a thing. I tell you, it also has become weird off the back of it. I hate to change the subject from pets to my nan. Your nan? She's a weirdo now.
Why is your nan a weirdo? What's going on?
But she's not been able to go out that much, and what you can tell is she's not a weirdo at all.
Yeah.
But she's, when you don't see as many people and you've not got as much stuff going on, when you do see people, you're a bit
socially awkward a bit.
Yeah, you've forgotten how to do it. You're a bit unsure of the things.
Do you not think there's a lot of that going on right now?
Loads, yeah. Kids, old people. Kids like that. Old people like that.
You just attacked the really like vulnerable. Kids, old people, they're all stupid now. Pets. Get rid of all of them.
All the things everyone loves in the world, and they're going to hate them. No, I don't hate them. I'm just like, a lot of them have really just forgot how to. I don't know, it must be really hard that, because obviously we still go out and see people.
Barely, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but we have to work. A lot of people still have to go to work. Imagine just being like, that was you. No interaction with anyone. It's loose women for company.
Oh, God.
Well, that's me nan, though. She's just got loose women on the odd phone. She answers that phone so quick.
Is she dead sad?
Yes, I know.
I don't know why. Half a ring. You know, the scramble.
Hello. She sounds worried when she answers the phone. Like she doesn't.
I do, I think, though.
Hello?
I sound worried answering the phone. Who rings people now? Ringing someone now is like knocking on the front door. I think like 20 years ago. That's the equivalent. Ringing someone now is like, hello. FaceTiming someone is the equivalent of just like popping up at someone's window. Steam all coming up. That's what FaceTiming is. You've got to be stupidly comfortable.
Do you know anyone else FaceTimes
like that?
people with video? Video FaceTimes people like, I haven't spoke to you in a while, mate. And you're like, if someone did that to me, they would. Weirdos, get rid. Oh, Trump's back, isn't he?
Donald Trump. He's back. He's gonna drain the swamp again. He's gonna do all the. What is he? He's innocent. Is he?
Is he?
He's been acquitted, hasn't he? So we can get back into politics now. Is that what it is? He can now get back into politics.
They were gonna do the thing that they do to get rid of a president, which is called impeach them. But he only had like 5 days left, a week left, didn't he? 2 weeks left of his presidency.
Not enough time.
No, not enough time to do it properly. And when they did, the Republicans didn't want to, even though the evidence said that he'd done all the things that they were saying, they didn't want to vote for it. So yeah, he's free to do what he wants.
And what's he gonna do? What do we think? Like,
I think he'll run again in 2024, which is when the next presidential election is. In the meantime, he's got to make it look like everything's going tits up. He's got Biden there, who's old. He'll prey on that, and Biden will struggle to get some stuff done, and Trump will prey on that, and he'll do that for 4 years. But like from a position of, well, you don't have to deliver anything. You're not in the White House. You're just out there saying that shit.
Yeah, at least he's interesting with it. At least I hope he's entertaining with it.
Because I think back to doing the wrestling or something.
No, I think he must know loads now. Like, I always hear that like the presidents get told mass amounts of like such like confidential information. And the first thing I'm thinking of, the aliens.
Right.
That Israeli special agent fella who was going on about there's a galactic alien force was saying specifically that Donald Trump knows.
Okay, he's the last person you'd want to know, because he quite clearly can't be trusted with information like that, can he? So if he does know, he'll try and use it. He's being cut out of security briefings. Apparently ex-presidents get, I don't know why, get security briefings when they're not in the White House anymore. And Biden said he's probably not going to give them to him because, don't trust him.
He's been like banished, hasn't he? Like Twitter's still booted him off. Yeah. And stuff like that.
He's just got to find the right new platform, hasn't he?
He's going to make one, isn't he, really? Is this a bit like, I was thinking about him going off Twitter, is that a bit more dangerous in a way than having him on? Because it's not going to make some kind of weird right-wing Twitter.
That's exactly what's going on.
I'm worried about social media. Like, the more we silence like specific sorts of groups and idiots that say specific, that they're just going to make their own. Because what you've got to remember is Twitter is only like the granddaddy of it all, because it was the first there.
Yeah.
That could be very easily made. You could Control-V Twitter and change the banner.
They tried to make their own one, didn't they? They had, there was that one called Parler. I don't know if that's still on.
No, they took that off, because that's what
taken off and then got put back online. Do you know where the servers were when it went back online?
Was it over in Mother Russia or somewhere?
Yes,
was it?
They were on Russian servers it came from.
That got shut down because of, well, Trump people, wasn't it? Chatting. Oh God, we're going to go to the Capitol. It was all that.
Some of the insurrection stuff was on there.
And that got the whole network shut down.
Yeah.
At what point does the social media have to get to before it gets taken down? Who's to say, that like you couldn't buy 20,000 bots? Jump on Twitter, go and spout all this.
You can do that.
Would that get taken down? No. Isn't it mad that the whole social media,
wouldn't you?
Yeah, but like it could get done. Like rival companies, like imagine Facebook just put 100,000 bots into some social media platform and made it seem fascist, taken down.
Like, absolutely, that could totally happen.
It'd be so easy. It's not even hard.
Everything that happens on social media, all of these things is up for sale on the dark web in loads of different places.
Yeah, you see it all the time.
So like a government could just go, all right, you could have 10 million bots and put it on a platform, and they could sway it clearly. Yeah. You can't really trust any of that stuff for like serious stuff, can you?
No, not
You
at all.
really can't.
No,
You
that's
can't
why
go,
Trump's
that's
not
got-
being on Twitter. It's like, all right, he'll find elsewhere, won't he?
Yeah, and he'll make his own TV channel or something. There's a TV channel coming to the UK. There's 2 of them, and they're going to be quite right wing. One of them's called GB News. Dan Wotton. Dan Wotton. Do you want me to tell? Shall I just jump to the gun? Dan Wotton's a cunt. No, he's not. He's on Lorraine.
No, he's a knob.
Here he is on Lorraine.
He's a knob.
He's a knob, yeah.
Then he's a knob.
Like, he was on that talk radio.
Why is he getting a telly station? Well, no, is it like all his cronies?
Yeah. Like all of the proper, like, it's going to be like an alternative news source. It's going to be fun.
Oh, God, I hate that. Alternative news source. I hated that. It's just a sentence.
Yeah, they're horrible,
But
isn't
that's
it?
how we're going to have to go. You know, because we've kicked everyone off.
Yeah, we'll have to go to those
Silence.
alternative sources.
That's what I
aren't we?
mean. All the big right-wing ones. Great.
So what was the thing you said about Trump knows the
Oh, he knows all the spacemen. He knows the aliens.
where did you hear about the man? So we I don't
Israel.
just want to say
It was
because he
Israel,
knows, 'cause
Graeme.
it's probably nonsense.
It was Israel.
Israel, and he was the what? The Israeli intelligence man thing.
He left.
He left?
He left.
Why did he leave? Something's gone on, hasn't it? But I know, I'm just saying, you never leave the intelligence services.
Yeah, but he seems to think anyway that there's a galactic space federation and they're not wanting to speak to Earth yet because we haven't got it all figured out. Which I think is probably the most plausible thing about the aliens. I think they know we exist.
You say there's
Okay,
a galactic... No, I'm not laughing.
Go.
I'm just like, go on, Galactic Space Federation. I'm just going to see what we get. I haven't even done due diligence on this.
Go on. I think the fact that they could be monitoring us and we're just not at a level yet to communicate with, I think is probably what's going on with the aliens. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that makes the most sense because they would be watching us, but we just haven't got it figured out. Like, what country would you go to, for example? What leader would you go to speak to if you'd come from Saturn?
I've laughed at you a little bit here, but the where do you think the main places reporting this? I've just typed in Galactic Space Federation.
Well, it's going to be all the big newspapers that everyone...
all the shit ones.
No, it's going to be all the science ones. Science.
It's not bad. It's
Science Today.
No, you're not necessarily wrong.
Science Today at the top.
ScienceNews.org. Yeah, it's one of the top 10 questions I'd ask an alien from the Galactic Federation.
There you go.
It's in Forbes, Wall Street Journal,
Oh my God.
NBC News.
See?
London Evening Standard says there's no proof.
Well, yeah.
Fucking hell, really? Never. Let's see what the top 10 questions people would ask.
What would you ask?
Oh, an alien.
Can we come in?
Right.
Can we come in, please? It's shit down here.
So what? Any science? Right.
What would you ask?
How do you spell your name? I was checking.
Fuck off.
Question
You would
number
ask
one.
that.
ScienceNews.org. How would you spell your name? Well, they might not use letters. It might just be like.
They're not coming to
feel the magnetic waves.
No, whoever's wrote this article, they're not coming to the Federation. Excuse me, how do you spell your name? They'll just evaporate us. What an embarrassing question.
This is a
nerd.
more reasonable one. Using
Nerd.
Earth astronomical terminology, where are you from? Have you seen War of the Worlds? Oh,
No
God.
way.
And then they go deep. What's your favourite interpretation of quantum mechanics?
Why would you ask if you've seen War of the Worlds?
'Cause it
That's
doesn't-
poo.
it
It's
doesn't
one of the
end-
poo ones.
Doesn't end well.
Does it? No.
Are you in any way responsible for COVID? Are you sorry? Oh God, they don't have to jump the gun, scientists, don't they?
Are you sorry?
Why in the world haven't you provided us with sufficiently sophisticated algorithmic artificial intelligence to neutralise the damage to our civilization perpetrated by social media?
That's an intense question.
You know, and what
I was.
answer to
Do
that?
you know what the question I was thinking? More of like, where's your arsehole? And like, how do you? Not for any reasons like that. Just more. What's the anatomy chatting? Was that not what you'd be interested in?
Sorry, I was reading something where they
What's
were
your
gonna
knob like?
insinuate-
I think. What's your knob like?
Your go-to would
Maybe
be,
not that.
listen, aliens,
If you've got
knob
alien-
reveal.
knob reveal, please.
Bumhole reveal.
What's the boob situation?
Show us your knob, your bumhole and your boobs. Not necessarily in that order, but we need to see these
That
things.
would be my question 1, 2, and 3. I think. Knob question mark.
The aliens people are sat in the corner of the room during this interview. You know, the aliens PR people. We didn't clear the bumhole question. The alien's there pulling his cheeks apart. It's for news at 10. Hasn't got a fucking clue. I've never seen Earth media. Where you getting?
Have you seen War of the Worlds? Get out of here. Who invited him?
Till it's gone, bumhole. Ridiculous. So that's insane. Oh, right, here we go. Former Israeli space security chief
Yep.
said, right, I'm going to go to the most serious news outlet I can find that's done this. The Wall Street Journal.
Oh.
Right.
Go on, get it on. This was big news.
I
when
really
this was
am
said.
indulging you on this, aren't I? I'm giving you, I'm backing it right.
I'm loving this.
I've got to fucking pay for this.
Oh, don't pay for the
That
article.
can piss off.
Are you surprised by how big of news this was? It's that Trump knows as well. Everyone thinks he's mad.
What? Yeah, and he just keep it to himself.
Yeah.
Right. Now the reveal of the Galactic Federation. Haim Eshad, who served as the head of Israel's space security program. But he wasn't the head of Israeli intelligence. Did you say he was the head of Israeli intelligence? It's nearly right.
Close.
But being the head of Mossad is that's what Israeli intelligence is.
What is he?
I wouldn't fuck with them.
Is that what he is?
No, he did the space security program for nearly 30 years.
Sorry.
He believes that aliens have been among us for a very long time and they communicate exclusively with the United States and Israel. There's an agreement between the US government and the aliens. They signed a contract with us to do experiments here. They too are researching and trying to understand the whole fabric of the universe, and they want us as helpers. Little helpers, like elves.
Well, yeah. This just makes sense. Do you not think? Do you think they'd speak to America and Israel as well? I think they would.
Why would they speak to Israel?
Israel,
It's not
because
the biggest country in the world, it's as big as Wales.
but the last time...
It's a rich country.
The last time people come from the stars with powers and stuff.
Are you trying to tie this into...
Religion.
I'm not saying you're wrong, because I don't know.
Where maybe all of that...
Maybe.
That holy part of the world, maybe it's just a little bit of a... Where the aliens like to pop down. It's just a thought. And America, maybe because they're... Why? Superpower?
Yeah, they're super, but you'd have to deal with
When
them.
they- when
I'd
they-
want to speak to America and China. I'd be like, take me to the
this
top
is why people think they've
economically
not
top.
come now. People don't think they are in contact with us, but they do exist.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd come down because who would they speak to?
You don't believe that the aliens live in an underground base on Mars along with some of Earth's astronauts, and the Galactic Federation isn't keen for the rest of humankind to know the truth?
I don't know if I believe that.
President Trump knows all about them.
Oh, there we go.
He was
Trump
on the
knows.
verge of disclosing their existence until the Galactic Federation told him to hold... This is Forbes. I can't get over this. Humanity needs to evolve and reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are.
See, we're not there yet. We're not ready, which I think's fair.
I think Trump would have just said something.
See, no, I think Trump's a bit smarter than we all think.
Yeah.
He's playing the long game, Trump. If, like, realistically, he is. He's not dying anytime soon. These billionaires, these are living up. I think he might live to about 150.
Do you reckon he'll be one of them first billionaire types that lives like hundreds of years, like Old Testament level? Donald Trump, 471,
Definitely.
like Jacob or something.
Definitely. Apparently, I was reading this the other week. There's billionaires alive today that think they're going to live till over 200 years old.
So I reckon Trump could do that.
Yeah, I think there's how technology's going and what they will have access to. A cunt billionaire apparently thinks they're going to live till over 200.
Wow.
What a mad time to be alive that is.
Do you reckon, Trump might, as we get the technology, just want to be... It's because I want this.
Go on, what do you want,
I
love?
don't want to die. I want to live forever.
Forever and ever?
I'd like to be uploaded.
Yeah.
Uploaded into a computer.
On here?
Just fired
be
off
one of them?
on the screen.
Would you have your face on it, or would it be like a...
Did you ever see the popular comedy series Red Dwarf in the 90s, where the computer that drove the ship was just a disembodied head on his computer screen? That's what Trump wants to be forever.
Like Futurama? Just head in a jar?
Yes, that. But on a
Donald
screen.
Trump head in
And
a
so
jar.
I could continue long after I've gone. I could continue to do this and just my face just be on there.
Can you then get put into other bodies? 'Cause that's
think
the theory with this, isn't it?
Mind uploads into the heaven.
Robot heaven.
Just bring me around, put my back in a different body.
Well, that's what people think aliens are.
A funny one, a funny body, like an accidental one.
Here's one. Do you think aliens could be us just further down the chain?
Yeah. And you thinking aliens because you were like you wanted to see the aliens bumhole, if I remember right.
I didn't say that.
And,
I did
well, it
say
wasn't
that.
just a bumhole. It was everything. Alien, show me it
It
all.
was an anatomy-based question. It was. But do you reckon aliens could just be us so far gone that they figured out how to blast you up into
into the
conscious
we say
space?
it's
What is
conscious space, the heaven or whatever you want to call it, or we have cloud computing now, don't we?
get the brains up there?
Upload my mind.
Maybe that's
into
what
the
heaven
cloud.
is.
I've always said this.
Is heaven the iCloud?
Yeah, but
You
like
know?
God's cloud. different dimension.
Loads of gig.
Now, what's happening right now is 50% of people who are listening to us are going, fucking, thank God someone said this.
50?
The other...
Yeah, I know our listeners. It is probably about 50. Yeah. They're all in tinfoil hats.
They've got a bit of that in them.
Eating their own snot. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and everyone else is gone.
We've just fucked off. No, but I don't think... These things sound like the ramblings of a madman, and until not long ago would have all have said that this was a madman, but this is a madman's chat. I was in an Uber the other week.
Yeah.
And the Uber driver engaged in conversation with me, and I thought, oh, fuck.
Oh, God, not now. Not now.
Yeah, but it sounds sometimes, and then, this isn't just Uber drivers, like sometimes if you're a taxi driver and they'll say something bit mad, bit racist sometimes. Less so with Uber drivers, actually. Anyway, this one was like warming me up through conversations, bit of chat about Thatcher and that, and then got to
what?
Like this, the whole thing about minds being uploaded and the universe being a simulation.
Made that jump from Thatcher.
Yeah, we were just warming up through the intellectual chats. Started off at Thatcher, ended
Test
up
the
at
ropes.
simulation theory. So between Liverpool Town Hall and the front of our work, which is about half a mile, we jumped from Thatcher to simulation theory. We were trying to go through the chat.
So he was keen. He thinks it's a simulation.
I'm saying it's not just like people who are a bit more left field like us.
It's becoming mainstream.
Yes.
Which is dangerous.
Why is it dangerous?
Because I think there's some people that maybe shouldn't have that theory just brought to them because their minds will just fold.
He gave me this guy's name. He was a physicist, and I looked it up, and the guy's done research that said he could pick up the thing that's, they're going about Einstein's law of relativity and like, the weight of stuff. What's it called? What things fall?
Gravity.
The bits that's missing, the other bit that is in there is information.
This must have been a good chat.
No, the other bit that's in there is information, and in the background in the universe, they reckon that you can hear like they picked up binary code and.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, so it's all basically. I was like, The Matrix. Anyway, mate.
Yep.
£3 tip, mate.
I'm off.
I'm done. This is.
Please let me out.
The doors are locked, and I couldn't get out. So yeah, no, I'd like to be uploaded into
the heavens. That seems fine.
It does seem like people have died and they're coming into the light.
It all plays into it. All does.
You know what I mean?
That's being unplugged.
Yeah. And then you wake up and you're in a hard disk somewhere
in space. Play the other talk, Graeme. I've got another talk for you there, mate.
Let's see.
You play that. Just a quick one. I want to see what you think.
Have a quick look.
$20?
Really sweaty though, yeah.
They're really sweaty.
Let me see.
So there we go. You can see
$20?
there is.
Really sweaty though, yeah.
They're really sweaty.
Girl was on a jog. Fellas pulled it over and said, give us your socks, 20 quid. I don't think anyone loses in that situation there. I think everyone's happy. I think everyone is happy in that situation right there.
She seems fine about it.
That's what I mean. It's not weird. It is weird. I don't mean that.
It's really fucking weird. It's really weird.
It is weird, but I'm sounding like I've got a foot fetish now, and I really haven't. But it's just everyone's winning. He's getting what he wants. God knows what he's doing with them. As long as he's not cloning it, then I don't think it's that weird. He's getting some sweaty socks. He'd buy them online. You know he would. He's just getting them fresher from the source.
Yeah, he's like, well, for him, that's really exciting.
That's free range. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not battery fat. Anyway.
No, she's not from a Cage 10.
She's 20 quid up on a pair of socks that probably cost £1. Profit.
I'd want more than that, you know.
I think that the only thing I thought is she can get more. She can get 20 quid a sock. I've not seen it. That's another thing. I don't know if that varies the price.
I'm looking at it on a loop here.
Yeah, that's healthy. How was that for you?
Well, I'm fine. I think that she is attractive.
Why do you think she's attractive?
Look at her there. I can see a bit of her there. She might be one of them that just looks good when you can't see her face. I can say this, I'm gay. Don't complain. Yeah, she looks fantastic. She is, look at that. Look, her legs look alright. She looks like she might be, like, alright. You know what I'm saying? I think she should get way more than 20 quid.
20 quid's a bargain, I think.
I think it's a bargain for something like that.
What is... Go on, what is the...
I have seen someone on the internet saying, you can buy it, right, and he did it through, what is it called, Depop, that thing, where you sell clothes.
Are people selling the soiled goods?
I mean, it wasn't soiled, it was just, these are me undies, and that, and I was like...
Skids. Comes with skids on the box.
Comes with skids.
Comes with original skids.
Come, they'd still be happy. So yeah, I've seen people trying to like flog stuff.
Yeah,
and there was more than that. And this person wasn't as attractive as she probably is.
Is boxies more than socks?
All of that stuff.
Because obviously they do all the knickers and that, don't they? All that stuff.
They have to, like in Japan.
What do they have in... Oh, I know what they have in Japan.
They have those vending machines, don't they, that sell... So is it soiled pants?
They're not... It slaps to the bottom. Fucking stinks. Absolutely reeks. Yeah.
You have to pay aid. Yeah.
See, do you know what always worried me about that with Japan?
Go on.
Is I think Japan are advanced with everything.
So you think it's only really a matter of time until...
Before I'm walking through town and there's like, shitty drawers for sale, save for £1. As it gets sold at like one of them stalls in town, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Echo!
Get your scatty knickers.
Yes. Shitty drawers. Echo! He'd be selling them.
There is a market for them. The thing is, once he's got he's just going, him there that had the
What's he doing?
He's going home, and earlier on, I just presumed they were knickers for some reason. I don't know why in my head, and I was like, oh, he's putting them on. And you were like, what? He's going home? He's just going to put on his socks. But yeah.
Go jogging. Oh, look, I'm just like here. Maybe it is really weird like that.
But I don't see any way it's not. Why is it so big then? Because, like I said, this is of no interest to me, male or female, socks or...
Would you sell your stuff though? Because it's a thing that people think it's weird to even sell it. I don't want anyone doing anything weird with my...
Absolutely, I would sell like a lot of else out there now. I'd get a pair of my socks, £50, right? I'll have worn them.
More than it?
Yeah.
For socks?
Because I'm using...
Okay, go on.
She's just...
Yeah, there's the menu. There's the specials.
She's having passing trade there.
The specials on.
£20.
Passing trade.
I'm saying I'm using this as an option, just like a live read for my underwear.
So £50 on the sock.
They're for the socks, and they're for cheap socks that I don't
and now
like.
We've got...
that I'm going to throw out.
Okay, we've got three...
I will wear them.
We've got 3 boxes.
3 boxes.
3 levels.
I'm not fucking shitting in
We've got
any
3 levels of box. I need the prices. So we've got £50 in the socks. We've got 24-hour worn.
I wouldn't wear something for 24 hours, but
boxes 24 hours.
You want me to wear them for 24 hours? I want compensating. So I'd say if I wore them for 24 hours, I want over a ton. Like I want
a ton is fair.
120.
Okay,
there you go.
And then there's another 24-hour one, but it just says in brackets like bad stomach. Which it's got to affect price.
I'd want loads of money for that. I mean, like, what do I have to do to make that work? Like, how do I post them as well?
24.
How do I post them?
Tupperware.
No, because I'd have to go to the post office in Old Swan with like you sold something on eBay, and when they always say, "Is there anything in here that shouldn't be in here?" Meaning, are you posting drugs? And I'd be like, I go really red. I mean, well, not technically. But don't smell it.
Morally, don't smell it. Imagine saying that. Fucking don't smell that. And then option 3 is just like
morally. Morally.
Is there anything that should be in here? I mean, morally, no. There's some fingers in here. So.
Imagine that being the point that you fucking dobbed yourself in. We've got all that way. You've got a drugs empire on the go. At sudden you go, oh shit, yes. Maureen. Yeah, we'll have your broadband as well. So you wanted the... I will. Do you want a price for me to do something that disgusting? What, using my brand?
Your brand. Soiled goods.
Soiled goods.
That's the last one. So we've got socks, bad stomach. Could I not just
sell? No, like when you were at school, right? Fucking wait. Fuck's sake! When you were at school, right? And they said, God, we're talking about selling scatty on these. Oh, I meant right when you were wherever you were when you did this, when you had to like get something to make it look like it was from back in the day, so you'd have to tea stain it. I can't do that with just like a normal pair of boxes, proper fucking tea stain.
This is PG tips. This. Why have I paid £300 for this?
Fucking full on fart gas. Do that. £200, and you're not going to send them back, are you?
That's a good point.
Oh, these were rubbish.
These are full of shit.
Oh, sorry. So what I'm saying is, I would.
That's good.
So Fetish or false? We've got written down. I haven't prepped this. Dill hates ideas that.
I love radio games.
No,
and
like
stuff.
what it is. You do hate radio gags, don't? Games that have got a name.
Yeah,
What's the deal in radio that you hate when someone comes up with a name?
it's got to be alliteration. Oh, it needs to be fetish or false. It needs to be. I can only think of companies. I can only think of company names now, and I don't want to say anymore. Right. So yeah, we've got fetish or false, which I think's a great name. I've only thought of the name Graeme. I thought you'd be across all the fetishes.
Well, I do know a few, but like I just.
What do you know?
Fucking up.
What are the ones you know? Just
I've
that
got
quick.
either oddest, strangest fetishes. What are the oddest ones I know? Fetishes where you just want to put me on scat. It's getting really weird. And I just got to blurt out loads of mad words.
Try and move on the conversation.
All right, I've just got. Wow, fuck me.
Go
right.
on, fetish or false?
Right.
I'm assuming they're all going to be fetishes, but that's not the point.
Melissophilia.
Fetish. What is it?
It's a fetish.
Let's just go through some weird fetishes. We don't need the radio game, hence the name. So,
When you said it, I was like,
yeah, shut up.
that's
Dylan.
very unlike you. Okay, what is it? Is it Monday?
Go on, give me some weird ones.
Melissophilia.
Is it something name based? No, it's not. I can only think of the name Melissa.
No. This is when you are aroused by bees and wasps. I've not seen these yet. I'm just going through
This is
them.
mad. That's odd. Is that not as like? Do you need help at that point?
Well, bees and wasps.
But
Not
just
harming
like
anyone.
What I know, but what's happened? What has went on in your head?
Some traumatic event as a kid
Really odd.
involving honey. Psychrophilia.
Oh God, this sounds bad. Something about blood.
Nah.
Go on.
It's being aroused by the cold or watching others freeze.
I got weird at first. Like that was all right. Oh, a little bit of a nipple on.
Nasolingus. Well, that's probably the entry level for it.
Nose.
No, the other one. Nasolingus, yeah. It's being aroused by sucking on a person's nose.
They're just always a bit weirder than you think, aren't they?
Oh, God. Selismophilia.
I don't want to guess.
It's being turned on by a stutter.
Ooh, that's odd. I've never heard of it, like any of these. If anyone's listening,
This is quite common, I think.
Go on.
Catotronphilia, which is like getting turned on by having sex in front of a mirror, which is like in your own reflection.
Okay, I thought it was animal based. I thought it was.
Why?
It was cat or something, wasn't it? I was like,
Start with a K.
oh, great. Oh, okay. In front of the mirror. Oh, go on.
Formicophilia.
Deep breath. Go on. What would you say?
It's one. It's not one for any of the guests on I'm a Celebrity. This one is if you're turned on by insects. Does that cross it into animals? It does, really, doesn't it?
No one cares if you're abusing insects, though, do they?
I'm a Celebrity.
That was the point. I used to get upset watching I'm a Celebrity sometimes, and he'd like be eating them witchetty grubs, you know, the big slugs, and he'd be like ripping it in half, and I'm like, why am I watching like a Z-list celebrity
I'm not
just
allowed to do that now.
mutilate an insect? But no one cares about. You could do anything with insects, do you reckon? Before it's illegal.
I think you're pretty. Yeah,
It's an awful question I'm asking.
They're not going to complain, are they?
What?
Insects.
The insects?
Yeah.
Have you seen B-Movie?
No, I know you.
B-Movie complain. He sues the human race for robbing the honey.
It's what I think it's important that people know how important that.
B-Movie to me is like a pillar in my personality. So is Shrek 2.
A pillar in my personality. It's very
So is Shrek 2.
Everything leans back into them films.
Everything falls back there. Everything.
Climacophilia.
It's something to do with climaxing.
Falling down the stairs. Get turning on.
That's good.
Lithophilia.
No, do you know the falling down the stairs one? Is that you falling down the stairs, or you like watching other people? So is it like he's having a little dodgy Tommy tank and then launches himself down the stairs at the end? What's this? What? He likes it. He likes the feeling of falling.
It must be both. It must be like active and passive. Falling down the stairs. So like, if you're a top, then you give someone a quick shove down the steps. Lithophilia.
What's that?
Gravel. Stone and gravel.
This is mad. This is madness.
I think we've been getting this one. They put this in as a mad one. Coprophilia. Say it ain't so. There are people who get turned on by feces. These are people who are into scat.
Scats.
That's the official.
The scat men.
Being into that. That's
Scat man.
Right. Autoplushophilia.
Toys and the...
Yeah, being turned on by dressing up as a giant cartoon stuffed animal.
Well, that's like, what are they called? Fairies. Do you know about the fairy community?
No.
Do you know what a fairy is?
Go on.
Google it. Google, what was I even... Fairy convention. Fairy convention, as in F-U-R-R-Y, as in like they're fairy, like an animal is fairy.
Oh, right, yes,
So
just
it's-
come up top.
It's them that dress up like this. They're usually like wolves or dogs. Go to images. I'll show you what they're like. It's like a huge thing on TikTok and stuff like that. Them. So they're called fairies, and they're like a little...
They look like charity mascots, don't they? It's like a charity
Yeah.
mascot convention.
But I think one of the weird things with it, and what everyone always goes on about, is it's very sexually driven. A lot of it, I think, and a lot of it isn't. And I know that before any.
Oh,
I know there's some fairies that aren't. There's so much of it.
Oh my
that
God.
is like.
Have you seen two cartoon animal dressed up people do sex?
I've not seen it. But
I have.
It'd
It
be a
kept on.
thing.
It's not for me, but it did keep on dropping it into.
Recommended.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah. Both foxes
Oh, foxes.
battering each other.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Playing the bingo. Oh no.
What?
Oh, something really bad happened at a fairy convention 6 years ago in Chicago. Someone released chlorine gas at one. No, why would you do that? It was like,
Why?
I don't know.
Do the suits not?
19 people in animal costumes became dizzy.
That's a mad headline.
It was treated as a criminal matter.
I was going to say.
Why would you want to? It says here that the costumes can cost as much as £3,000.
No way.
All the characters were whilst
They
the
don't look that good.
no, I know. Well, you get the odd one, don't you? This one says that they were having a group workout session, and then that's when the chlorine.
Yeah, that's mad.
I don't want to laugh at that. It's just
No.
an insane. It just came up when you. That's the
Some
pictures.
stupid. Yeah, it's a mad headline.
Fairies convention interrupted by chlorine gas that sickens 19.
Oh, we need to say congratulations for the old new baby on the way. Baby inbound.
What's the matter?
Baby inbound with the royals that aren't royals. What are they? Meghan and Harry.
Yeah, they've left now, haven't they?
They gone.
They live in America now, so they're not. They're not the type of royals that you'd see opening like.
Not our good royals. Do you know what I mean? Our lovely.
They are our good royals.
Royal, faithful royals that love the country. They hate the country, don't they? Them because they got off. So we hate them, but we love the Queen and Charles.
Like with the Queen, I don't mind the Queen.
Yeah,
She seems okay. But I mean, like, it's not a difficult job. Say nothing. Say nothing. Should be the last one, though, shouldn't you? I always say this. Should just get rid of it when she dies.
yeah, I think so. I think it might. I'm hoping it will, and I'm hoping it's stuff like I seen a bunch of stuff last week in the papers about Prince Charles.
The royals have got, like, their own business interest.
How mad is that? That does not get spoke about enough. I don't think many people would know all that.
So Prince Charles owns the Duchy of Cornwall.
Right.
It's like a thing, like a brand that they
Yeah.
use to see in the shops, and they sell, like, organic food, and they do a lot of farming stuff. And
Why did they need businesses? I know that's.
I don't know. They just got given it, and that's outside of they get an income from, like, the royal family, and then this is an income outside of that.
Yeah.
Do you get me? So Charles is going to be the king of this country, so he's the heir to the throne. And when laws go through, what's been happening? This was in, like, a load of the papers last week.
Yeah.
When laws go through, what do you think happens when there's a law? It goes through the Commons. They do all the chatting.
Tick.
We vote for it. Yes. Send it to the House of Lords. They sign it off back to the Commons, and then the Commons sends it to the Queen. She signs it into law. Is that how you understand it? Ish.
Pretty much, but I still think that's dodgy.
It still sounds a bit weird because that goes to the Queen to be signed off, but she
cares,
can't really
yeah.
say no. Everyone knows that. She can't go,
Right.
fuck this, not having this. But what does happen is that the Queen and members of the royal family whose business interests are affected by anything that Parliament will do, any change in the law, what they've done without telling people until very recently is they've consulted the royal family because stuff might affect their business interests. So in the case of Prince Charles, if there was a piece of legislation that touched on, I'll give you both of them as an example because they both own like agricultural land.
Yeah.
The European Union leaving that there was a lot of changes in farming stuff and fishing. So somewhere along the line with the amount of business interests they've got, they'll be affected by that. So they went to the Queen and to Prince Charles and asked for, what do you think of this? But we didn't get told about that. So someone lobbied for it on a Freedom of Information request. And it turns out that the Queen has been consulted and lobbies for changes to laws to hide her private wealth and anything that sort of affects her private wealth. In fact, royals have vetted more than 1,000 laws, ranging from Brexit to, this is the mad bit, to inheritance and land policy, anything that affects. So
1,000, but like,
I'll read you this paragraph so you get it. More than 1,000 laws have been vetted by the Queen or Prince Charles through a secretive procedure before they were approved by the UK's elected members of Parliament. The huge number of laws subject to royal vetting covers issues from justice, social security, pensions, race relations, food policy, through to obscure changes on car parking, changes on hovercrafts. Anything to do that could affect her personally, they go through, and she 1,062 things that she's had a say in. In fact, there's a long list of them here, the stuff that she's had a chat. Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
Isn't it mad that how many people wanted to leave the EU because, there's people we've not elected in making laws.
And then she changes the European Union Future Relationship Bill. She had a little look at it first.
Why?
Don't know.
Mad.
And they don't want us to know that they're able to do that, which is such a weird thing.
Well, the
So you
royal
obviously
family,
know it's wrong.
they know what the royal family can have a PR masterclass every time because they can control it all. They can silence anyone. The royals.
How do they silence everyone? I know what you mean.
But they can though, can't they? I suppose to an extent. Do you not think? Do you not think a royal family would go about shutting certain people up? Do you think they have in the past?
I think it was just someone was driving a bit fast.
I think these as well. They've all got like a switch. They can all hit at any time. Boom, and they've gone. I think Epstein, he had a switch. Boom, gone. Off to some island
the way
somewhere.
Dylan does them, boom, gone.
And that's it.
Is the chair on Graham Norton?
I'm rocking back.
Back you go.
Oh, I'm gone.
That's what
I'm
that meant
forever.
on Graham Norton.
You never existed. Oh, yeah. Oh,
You've been
great.
deleted. That's a shame.
Well, yeah.
I think that
Go on.
what you said,
What?
people have always thought things like that about them. And I hope not. I hope they're not doing that.
That they're a bit slimy and
They're obviously they're looking after themselves there. Could they order, we'll get them. Yeah.
you're thinking, why would they?
Yeah.
Because how many people have spoke out about Prince Andrew?
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh. Anyway, he can't sweat, so. doesn't
I think
sweat.
he's going to be like a bit of the start of the downfall for it. I think the Prince Andrew thing is the beginning of the end.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I really think it is. Once anyone's hiding anything, it's like, well, what else are you hiding then? Come on.
Yeah.
Prince Andrew is the first obvious red flag. I think there's been other red flags, debatable.
It's the biggest.
All of that. We'll try.
It looks a bit fishy, doesn't it?
It's the first real smell of fish.
Yeah. And now he's been retired from public life. I don't know. I don't agree with it. What's the fucking point? Like, I remember there were
in them.
I know in them.
What's that? I know.
What did he do? I had people always come to this. What about tourism? Fuck's sake. In France, when they got rid of the royal family, right? They didn't all of a sudden get rid of all the tourists.
Well, we've got no one. There's no one here.
They've still got the palaces. Oh yeah, but you won't. Fuck off.
Who cares?
They're national monuments.
Yeah.
People carry on like it's their house.
Yeah. Completely.
It's so weird the way we just sort of jump to this sort of mad world where she's on top of everything. It makes no sense. Ask yourself seriously next time you see it. Is this really 2021? Are we all sat here hanging on her every fucking way?
Listen, I know all the Americans laugh at us for this, and they can.
Yeah, let them have that.
I've heard like some of them say, but this queen is like the descendant of the royalty that fucked over your descendants, and like you know that now, and yet you still worship them. I'm like, well,
we don't worship them, but but some people do.
We do as a nation, I suppose. Where they are, they're there, we're here.
Yeah, big old class system.
And on that note,
get rid of them.
Get rid of. Hashtag get rid of them.
No, but
there's no use for them.
There's no use,
and
for
especially
them.
if they're actively going out the way to make laws suit them for their own money. We already line their pockets with our tax.
What's the point?
Mad.
What is the point in them? Oh, to rally us. What fucking century do you live in? If you think that
16th.
No, we don't need that anymore.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure.
She's lovely, though.
Yeah, the Queen seems sound. She likes cows. Anyway, thank you for listening, guys. Feel free to drop us a message and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Ta-ra now. Go on. It's time to open your mind, expand your outlook, and occasionally soil yourself with delight.
This is the NTR podcast with Dylan Evans and Graeme Smith.